Hi everybody. So earlier on today, I posted I think in the main thread here, a famous quote. You can see it by Tony Benn, great hero of mine, talking about how struggles in society go on and on and on. And it's neither won nor lost, but it's always ongoing. There's no final victory, no final defeat. At the end of it, he says, "So toughen up." And I said, well, this is analogous to recovery. So I thought it was important to talk about what I think that means. Toughening up in recovery isn't about pretending. It isn't about putting on the tough guy act. You see people who come into group therapy who they're frightened, they're unsure, they're uncertain, they're afraid they're going to be judged, they don't know how it works. And so they might sit there with their arms folded, thinking, displaying all the body language of, don't you ask me anything, and I'm aggressive, and you leave me alone. Or they might have to do a big performance of, I'm Mr. Cool, and all that stuff. It's just, no one ever buys. That's not toughening up. That's going into old behaviours. That's having to put on, performances for others so that you can manage to avoid difficult things. Avoiding difficult things isn't toughening up by its very nature. So toughening up is about dealing with the things that life will continue throwing at us, whether we're in addiction or recovery, and about facing them without running away, without feeling sorry for ourselves, though sometimes that's a little bit unavoidable, without going back into old behaviours, whether that's back into addiction or back into victimhood and self-pity. And toughening up really is going, okay, wow, this tough things come to my door. This relationship breakup, this debt problem, this unreasonable behaviour from another person. So I'm going to toughen up now and deal. I'm going to take the steps. I'm going to talk to the right people. I'm going to use all the tools at my availability to deal with this as best I can. And I'm not going to, go back into old behaviours and drink and take drugs or whatever else it is that I do. But also, I'm not going to curl up into a ball and act like a big victim and hope that somebody else is going to come along and rescue me and solve my problems for me. No, I'm facing this head on because this is the challenge of my life. This is the challenge of my recovery. This is my opportunity to actually own my own life, to deal with my own problems and overcome them in my own way. And in doing that, we claim our engagement in the world, we claim our agency in the world, we claim our personal power back from those twin evils, our addiction and our belief that we are victims and pathetic and helpless and small and weedy and we can't do life. And that ain't true for anybody. It's never been true. It's a delusion of the mind, a coping mechanism so that we can call in a rescuer. We can send a bit of distress flare for a passing rescuer to come along and solve us of our problems. But ultimately, when a rescuer comes along, no one gets rescued. Okay? So, like Tony Benn said, time to bloody toughen up. Okay? Because you've got this. You can do this. Alright? Cool. Thanks. Have a nice evening.